Welcome back, MTG Burgeoning community, and welcome back, YouTube viewing audience. If you are still part of the former and wish to join the latter, click that subscribe button now. If any convincing is in order, you can look in the description below and peruse any of our many reward series here on MTG Burgeoning. Today is EDH Commander Thursday, and we are going to continue our series of breaking down a sealed case of Commander Legends. Hello folks, welcome back. MTG Burgeoning here, and this is what is this, video number 3 of our series of breaking down a sealed case of Commander Legends. If you missed any of the previous 2 when we broke down blue and white, you can click the links in the description below and take you right to those videos. What we're going to do here is these are all of the black cards that came in a sealed case of Commander Legends, all ordered numerically from the first black card to the last black card. So we're going to peruse these cards to give the general viewing audience an idea of what to expect when you open a sealed case of Commander Legends. So let's begin by saying that for respect with the black cards, we got at least 1 copy of every black card in the entire Commander Legends set. That was not the case with the blue cards, and that was not the case with the white cards, but with black, we got at least 1 copy of every black card in the set. We got at least a playset of every common and at least a playset of every uncommon, not including the uncommon legendaries that we could find in the 2 legend spots of each pack. All right, so let's take a look and see what we got. So here's the last card. We're going to go from last to first with black, and this is the brand new Vow to pair with the 4 monocolored Vows that were reprinted from Commander 2011, which was the very first pre-constructed Commander set. Okay, and here we go. The first best reprinted black common in the entire set, Viscera Seer. I can't tell you how often I sit down to put together a black deck, whether it's in EDH, whether it's just at the kitchen table, and I want to have some kind of sacrifice outlet, and I go to my storage box and try to find a Viscera Seer to find out that I have none. So having a Viscera Seer reprinted at common, of course, in Commander Legends, and getting so many great copies of it, 14 copies of Viscera Seer in 1 sealed case of Commander Legends. That makes MTG Burgeoning very happy. So we'll be slapping these vampire wizards right into storage, awaiting for them to be called up to the majors. And another great reprint here, Victimize. I never mind having as many Victimizes as I can, and it is a card that has not been printed very often. And here's our first foil. And if you remember or have already watched the blue and the white breakdown, you will remember that there is some discrepancy with the foiling throughout this case. And this is apparent with all of the cards here. And as you can see, here's a foil copy of Victimize. And of course, here's the regular non-foil copy. And as we go through the black cards, similar to what we did with the blue and the white, we're going to see that the majority, if not all, of the uncommon foils are very dark, very dull compared to foils of common rarity and even rare and mythic rarity. So we ended up with 6 copies of Victimize, 1 being a foil, which we'll put to the side. And yes, you can see it right after Victimize. We did get a copy of Vampiric Tutor. That was a most joyous occasion. I can definitely attest to that. 1 copy, Vampiric Tutor. Very, very nice card to pull. Like I have to tell you, it's a nice card to pull, right? All right, so Tormod is our first legendary creature of this black set review. And it's in one of the legend spots. And we did pull 6 copies of Tormod, so we definitely got a lot of Tormod, averaging 1 per box. Here's another great, fantastic common reprint, Thorn of the Black Rose from the Conspiracy block. It's just a great card. Comes into play, you become the Monarch. I have no problem getting tons of these. Look at all of them. Yes, very, very nice right there. And yes, we did pull. We were fortunate enough in one of our Legend slots to pull a Tevis Zot. We did not get it in the borderless art, but we did pull a copy. So I am very happy about that. And there's a rare Zot's Will, which we did get 2 copies of. Okay, here's a copy, a common of Supernatural Stamina. You got lots of that. Okay, here's a good comparison tool right here. Now, here's a foil common. All right, so we got a foil common of Supernatural Stamina. You can see, just like the blue and the white cards, of course, this is going to be rampant throughout the box. You can see the brightness, and then you put up, look at, I can even see it in the camera now. I can see that right in the camera. Look at how dull and dark the uncommon foiling is compared to the common. Look at it. It's like shades. There's shades of difference. So I can only imagine that double sleeving, that Victimize, how much duller that's going to make the card overall. Not exceedingly happy about that. So lots of copies of Supernatural Stamina. Spark Harvest, another common, so there's going to be lots of copies of that. And there's another common foil. Again, look at how nice the foiling is. Bright, catches the eye. Absolute difference compared to the foil of Victimize. Trying to get away from the glare. There we go. All right, and here's next. We have Sengir. This is one of the rare black legends from the 2 legend spots of the Commander Legends booster packs. 3 copies. Sanitary Skeleton. That guy's been reprinted many, many times. Okay, so that's the first stack of black cards. Not too bad. That was a pretty good stack right there. Viscera Seer, Tevis Zot, the Vampiric Tutor. Not bad at all. Lots of Sanitarium Skeletons. All right, Revenant. Boy, who remembers the days of Revenant being a rare way back before colored rarity symbols were a thing. Lots of copies of Revenant. And here is a great creature. I look forward to putting Rakshasa in a lot of decks because of its Encore ability. I know 6 and 2 black is pretty pricey, but getting a creature from each of our opponent's graveyards, I'm pretty good with that. I mean, so I'm happy to get many copies of that. I ended up with 3. All right, and here's Profane Transfusion. This is one of the mythics that I believe this is on the lower value end of the mythics in this set. And yes, we did get 2 copies of Profane Transfusion, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that there's some, there's got to be some kind of tracking going on. Of course there is. How could there not be? Because you're not gonna most likely, I don't have these statistics in front of me yet. That's the goal of this series and future series that we're going to do on this channel as well. But pulling 2 copies of Vampiric Tutor in a case seems a lot less likely than pulling multiple copies of Profane Transfusion. All right, so we got Pride of the Perfect. It's an anthem for your elves. Lots of copies of that. And this is an interesting card, the Plague Reaver. I'm looking forward to testing this card out. This is a card I think that has to be built around. I don't necessarily know that this is a card that you can just slot in any EDH deck that has black, but it does offer a very intriguing ability. So I'm looking forward to that. 3 copies of Plague Reaver. And there's the Phyrexian Rager. You gotta love cards that when they come into play, you can draw a card. I know I do. Lots of copies of that. And there's a foil common. Beautiful foiling on that common. I don't even know if you can make out, even if you look at how the cards are laying here, the foil commons are straight, they're rigid, they offer no semblance of any kind of warping. But here with this foil, look at that, it pushes down. It's like there's too much foiling on that card. Lots of Phyrexian Ragers, so it's fine with me. Oh, yes, and here was one of the biggest hits that we had in this case. Yes, that is a foil opposition agent. It was one of the foil rares that we had in the case. Foil opposition agent. And the foil rare is as good as... How sad is this going to be for me to say and for you to hear? But the foil opposition agent is as nice as the other foil commons. Shouldn't it be all? Ended up netting 2 copies of opposition agent in total. So we'll leave the foil rare right there so that we can compare. And here is an uncommon of Null Caller. Come on, camera. I know you're out. I know you're outraged. It's okay. Lots of copies of that. Noxious Dragon, another uncommon. So at least a play set there. And here we have another foil rare, Nightshade Harvester. And the foiling on that card looks very nice. 1 play set of Nightshade Harvester. We'll put that with the opposition agent. And here's a card that I'm very excited. I don't see any kind of buzz with this card, but I have so many decks where this will slot in wonderfully at the kitchen table. And particularly, I'm looking forward to including Necrotic Haze in my Saskia the Unyielding deck. It is a deck that just runs on tokens. Get tokens out, sacrifice those tokens to make more tokens, then sacrifice those tokens to make even more tokens. So to cast Necrotic Hex in my Saskia the Unyielding deck and have every player sacrifice 6 creatures, that doesn't hurt me at all because we're just going to get 6 more 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, and it should wipe out most, if not all, of our opponent's creatures. So I am very, very happy to have Necrotic Haze. I'm sorry, Necrotic Hex in this set, and I'm looking forward to putting it in not just Saskia, but a bunch of other decks as well. So 3 copies of Necrotic Haze, and here's another uncommon Nadir's Nightblade, so we're going to have lots of that. Another uncommon here. This is one of the legends that you could get in the Legends slot, Nadir, Agent of the Dusk Kennel. And you got at least 6 copies, and look, there's that uncommon foiling again. There it is. You see how dark it is, I'm telling you. So we're going to include that with our foil copy of Victimize. And here's another great black card I don't mind having. A mono black deck, and I have many that I sit with at the kitchen table. This is so much better than Terror. I mean, Terror is less. I mean, it's only 1 on a black, but you can't target an artifact creature, and you can't target a black creature. But with Murder, for 1 extra black, you just destroy any creature. And if you're in mono black, Murder is better than Terror. So to get all these copies of Murder, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a dozen copies of Murder, I'm absolutely fine. Average 2 per box. I'll take as many Murders as you can give me, baby. And here's another one of the legendaries in the legend slots, Miara. Lots of copies there. Oh, from the Shadows over Innistrad, Eldritch Moonblock, Malfield Twins. Special place at MTG Burgeoning's heart, baby. Loved that set, loved that block. Looking forward to a return to Innistrad. Okay, here we go. And then there's a copy, a foil copy of Malfield Twins. Again, nice foiling. I'll lay it out there. Lots of these guys. This is a great creature to include in our play variant. We have a zombie horde play variant where me and any members of our play group will sit down and we'll take on a 180 card zombie horde deck. And having this guy in there is a problem because if we end up killing him, he just creates 2 more zombies, and he's a problem, and he's great to add into that deck. And if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out on MTG Burgeoning's video archives. It is our zombie horde variant. Another one of the legend cards in the legend slot. That's Casket the Flesh Sculptor. Artifact heavy build there. And there's another foil uncommon. It's becoming as common, right? As common as commons. The Gilt-Leaf Winnower for our green-black elf archetype. There's a reprint of Ghastly Demise. This is a great removal spell if we are playing graveyard shenanigans, filling up our graveyard. Destroy a non-black creature for 1 black mana, as long as our graveyard has more cards than that creature's toughness. Lots of copies of Ghastly Demise. And here's another common similar to Viscerous Seer that I never mind having as many as possible, Fleshbag Marauder. The original. I mean, I know they've printed and created some Fleshbag Marauder-like cards since this guy landed as his debut that are better, but still, I mean, he acts as every player sacrifices a creature, so that's great. So getting a ton of copies of him. Nice foil common. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 copies. I'm okay with that. Fleshbag Marauder. And there, again, look at how dark that card is. It's another foil uncommon. This time it's Feast of Succession. You have to be able to see it on the camera. Just ridiculous. And then here's the regulars, so you can see the great artwork of Seb McKinnon. Of course, with the foil version down there, double sleeved, that's going to be a tough sell. Okay, and another one of the legendaries, we got Falthus, the Shadowcat Familiar. Lots of copies of him. Back to our commons, Eye Blight Massacre. Non-elf creatures are getting -2/-2. Lots of copies of that. More Eye Blight with the colors. Lots of copies there. Of course, they're commons. We're going to get a lot of copies. Look at that. Great foil common. Or great foiling on the common, I should say. And again, with some more Eye Blight. They are not relenting on the eye stuff, are they? Not with these. Not with these black elves. All right, we're getting down to the end here. I think we just have a bunch of commons left. Exquisite Huntmaster. Look at that, another great foil common. All right. Here's a nice rare Elvish Dreadlord. 1, 2, 3. 3 copies of that. Elvish Doomsayer, back to our commons. Lots of commons with the elves here. Human Rogue, the Jehund Operative. Got another one. Just drop that right there. Okay. Demonic Lore Uncommon. This is a great card in a donate deck. Like, I'm excited to include a playset of this card in a Grixis donate deck that I have. It has, let's see, has 4 copies of Demonic Pact, 4 copies of Illusions of Grandeur, and then it has cards like Donate, and it will have Blim the Comedic Genius is going to go into that kitchen table deck. And it also has the red one. I can't remember what the name, it has the cat. It's from Eldritch Moon. Or is it from Shadows Over the Shadows? It's from the Shadows Eldritch Moon block. It's got the cat on there, Unsuspecting Gift or something like that. So I'm looking forward to putting Demonic Lore in the donate deck and giving it to my opponents. 6 copies there. All right, we get another a common, Defiant Salvager. Lots of copies there, of course. Speeding right through. First time reprinted, we have the Kumbaji Witches. Good way to play some politics at the EDH table. 3, 4, 5, 6 copies there. The Crow. So we're going back again to Shadows over Innistrad, and our last stack is up right here. And we're starting off with a foil copy of Crow of Dark Tidings. So we'll add that to our foil commons. And here we go, the court. Here's our court, our black court. And this is ridiculous. This is going to go real quick. I mean, if you're the Monarch and you have this under your control, each opponent loses 6 life or discard 2 cards. 3 copies of the Court of Ambition. Corpse Churn. Another foil common. Looks good. Speeding right through. Here's another uncommon. Cast Down. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Not bad for 1 in a black instant. Briar Blade Adept. Another common elf. And we got another foil coming up. Look at that. Foil common is just perfect. And we have a Blade Brand. Common, lots of copies there. 1 foil copy. And Bitter Revelation, another copy. And I think that might take us right to Armix, the Filigree Thrasher, another one of our legendary creatures in the legend spots of our Commander Legends packs. Half dozen copies. All right. So let's take an eye test here, folks. Let's do it like this. We're going to have our common pile. And on top of our rare pile, on top of the uncommon pile of foils. So we'll have a really good sense. This is the best way I can showcase the differences of these foil cards. Come on, I'll get in there, camera. Okay. So we're just going to go all the regular foiling. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice and clear. You're seeing how it's nice. You can see the white background by the flavor text and the rules text. Whoops. Yep. Okay. And then we get to our foil rare of Opposition Agent. And then we notice, look at that. And there's no shadowing from the lighting above. This is just how the cards are. Look at this. Well, I guess if we're trying to glean some positives from it being just the uncommons, at least it's the uncommons and not the rares or mythics, because I can share with you sometime that some of the pre-constructed commander decks have been very, very poor with the foiling, similar to what you see here with the darkness and the already warping. I mean, you could see, you can just put them down. It's like 3-card Monty with how bad the curling is. Look at push down, push down, push down. All right, folks. To summarize, black, very, very happy with how black came out. Vampiric Tutor, a foil Opposition Agent, so many copies of Viscera Seer, so many copies of Victimize. Very, very happy with how black came out. This is MTG Burgeoning, and we are breaking down a sealed case of Commander Legends. Stay tuned for the next one when we look at red.